Hey guys, Mr. McSweeney here to help you with ISO. So what is ISO? Basically, it's your camera's sensitivity to light. So a lot of people call it like artificial light, but when you're kind of balancing your exposure, you're going to be looking at your aperture, your shutter speed, and ISO. So again, shutter speed is how much time your sensor is being exposed to light. The aperture is how big the opening is, so that kind of limits how much light can actually get into the camera. And then your ISO is the sensor's sensitivity to that light, where you can kind of create what they call artificial light. So how do you read ISO? ISO is just marked by numbers, so it usually starts at 100, and it can go up to, I mean, some cameras have crazy ISOs like over 200,000. But most of the time they're, in the tens of thousands. So how does ISO change your picture or your video? Well, if you don't have enough light, you can bump up that ISO, but you have to be careful, because once you start bumping up ISO, you're gonna start introducing grain, because you're making light. You're making your camera be more sensitive to that light, and you can get a lot of what's called noise in your picture. So you'll start seeing a lot of distortion in your image, and you don't want that. That doesn't look all that great, but it's a kind of a cheating way of how to do it. My camera is typically set on auto ISO, mainly because I just forget to change it if I'm in manual settings, so I just leave it on auto. But there are times where I've bumped up ISO to get a better picture. I've actually even bumped it down if I want to keep my histogram nice and level, so that I can go in and post and edit things a little bit better. But it is a nice tool to mess around with, but just be careful, because you can ruin your image if you go too high on your ISO, and then you're gonna have all this noise everywhere, and that doesn't look good. So play around with your ISO, and I hope this helps, and good luck.